What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Elite Dangerous. When we left off in the last episode, we were kind of experimenting a bit with the neutron star route. Dagnabbit, I can never get this right on the first go. And by never, I mean sometimes. Come on, right there. So, we did kind of determine that if you do it right, the neutron star route is pretty much faster if it's done comparably to how I was doing things before, which was like not scanning the initial star, you just do the discovery scanner and you jump and so on and so forth. So we're going to kind of keep that route going. I still have some bookmarked from my last route session where I went through and found a bunch of the stars on the router. Because there's actually I don't remember the URL to it, but there is actually a router planner thing for neutron stars where you can set how broad of a spectrum away you want to go from the actual route plotter from the game. You can keep it like straight line to where it's like it doesn't deviate, it deviates a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. Personally, I've found the most, really? Okay. Sorry if you guys heard that. I had a pop-up notification on my desktop, of course, because it wants me to try Office 365. No, go away. So sorry about that. If you didn't see that, then just, you know, pretend I'm crazy and ignore what I just said. So, I do have to apologize in advance a little bit for the way this episode is going to unfold. My reason for that... Today, Junior, thank you. My reason for that is I had been saying, you know, over the last couple of episodes that I was going to be trying to get more progress done off-camera. And to be quite honest, the day that I went to record this, which is my recording day for this, don't know exactly what happened, but I just slept really late, and so I didn't get started until, like, really, really late. And I have other things to record that day as well, or this day, but when you watch it, it's that day. When I'm recording it, it's this day. So basically I had to do minimal, essentially. So minimal cuts and things to optimize my time in order to get everything done and not be late on anything. So, you know, it is what it is, but I hadn't really got a lot of time off camera to do any progress work or anything like that, and so the day I went to record this, I also didn't have a lot of excess time to spend on doing, you know, grind work and other things to get further along or whatever before I started recording it. So, you know, I want to speed this up as much as I can, but the truth of it is if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. So I'm a little close for comfort here. I don't like this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Ooh. I was not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. That was a little close. Got a little cocky there. This route isn't, the neutron star things aren't that bad if they're handled with care. But I could easily see it kind of messing things up. And quite frankly, I'm not 100% sure that it's worth the risk. I think it is. Especially if I'm playing it really carefully like I've been doing. But it makes me a little nervous sometimes thinking, you know, there's nothing between here and where I started from to get me where I need to go, kind of thing. Like if you die, you're going to end up back at Colonia, type of stuff. And I'd like some confirmation on this as well. Speaking of dying, I was under the impression, I've gotten a lot of comments recently about, basically doing a suicide when we get to Sagittarius, or the A-star, and getting a free Sidewinder back at the capsule or the pill or whatever they're calling it now. And I'm not 100% opposed to that, but I was under the impression they patched that to where even if you picked a free Sidewinder, you went back to the last location you were at. So I would like to confirm with, you know, people that know about this stuff, whether or not that's actually a viable thing anymore, or how that works now, because I don't really want to try that if all it's going to do is blow up my Explorer, and it's not really going to get me where I need to go anyway. By the way, apparently there are different kinds of neutron stars. Not necessarily like classes or anything, but I just noticed something about this one and the last one, and you guys can go back in the video and check me, make sure I'm not crazy. Well, make sure I'm not hallucinating anything about the stars. That's probably more accurate. Because the last one we were at was all spinny, and that looks almost completely stationary. It's not wavy at all. So I'm kind of curious about that as to...
Frameshift drive charging.
I guess that means there's different kinds of active stars with neutron stars? I don't know. That's an interesting thing that I just picked up on. It may have been there the whole time and I just didn't notice it, or we've passed stuff like that before, but the last one we were at was all wavy. It was like spinning all over the place. And then that one didn't look like it was doing anything. I just found that odd. I mean, I don't think there's any quote-unquote classifications for neutron stars that make them different or anything, but I just happened to notice that and it caught my eye. See, like, this one is kind of mildly wavy, and the last one was stationary, and the other one was going like a strobe light. So, you know, just curious, is all. Come on. Okay, maybe I'm doing this a little too carefully now. Ah! I hate when the gravity of the star rolls me out of the band when I don't want it to. I would love that if I was about to die. But when I'm trying to supercharge, that's frustrating where you're like, I gotta find the band again, dagnabbit. Alright. How we doing? I think we're doing good. We're making progress, so we're doing good. I do definitely want to be kind of done with this sooner than later, is kind of my thing. It's the completionist in me that I'm this far that I kind of just have to see the journey through at this point. But for some of you that have commented about, you know, like, kind of want you to go back to like the dogfighting and bounty hunting and stuff, I'm in agreement that I want to do that as well. That's part of why I was asking about the whole Freewinder thing, was because if that's a viable option, I'm not really opposed to taking it, because once I turn in all my discovery data, I don't really care. I've done enough exploration that I probably won't revisit it for a long time. The only thing is, if I could at least get back to, like, well, I don't know. I was gonna say if I could at least get back to, like, Colonia, I could sell it off and get, like, a few million off of it, but again, headache over result, or, you know, cost and effect kind of thing. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed at the moment as far as how I'll end up proceeding with that. Woo. I'm not really sure at this point, but I definitely need to figure out if the Freewinder back to the capsule is a viable system anymore, because I could have swore they said something about patching that to where you could still pick the Freewinder, but like I thought they had changed that so that you couldn't exploit that to where you could end up back where you wanted or something, but I could be wrong. I could have misread a patch note. Would not be outside the realm of possibility at all. So there's that. But, and in case you were wondering, the last bookmarked neutron star that I have for this route at the moment was 1,600 light years away from where we started. So I definitely have 1,000 marked from where we started this episode. But with the speed of the neutron star, I don't know, we might end up actually at the last bookmark point before the end of the episode. At the rate I'm going, that would probably mark the end of the episode. Oh crap, I'm going way too fast, way too fast, way too fast, way too fast, way too fast. Okay. Nope, see like that? Where the gravity spins you out of the band. It's a little bit frustrating. Wait, is this the band? Oh, there it is. Wow, I'm right on the tail end of it. Yeah, that was definitely right at the tail. I could barely see it. Okay, we'll probably do... I don't know. We can probably make... I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna do one more, I think. And then refuel. After we supercharge off of this one, then I think we'll refuel. Yeah, I think we can pull that off. I'm hoping. That looks like we have about 3 jumps in us. I mean, push come to shove, you can always go right next to the star that you jumped into, but I prefer jumping next to the next one, not, you know, jump to this one, jump over, refuel, jump back over, you know, that kind of thing. I prefer to just target a star close to my next neutron one and go from there. But, you know, this should work out too. I need to check my FSD too and make sure it's not getting too busted, because I might need to make a pit stop and repair. But yeah, so if that teleporting system is a viable option, I wouldn't mind it, because we've done a lot with exploring and whatnot. So I'm not opposed to kind of cutting a little corner to get back. And even, I'm not 100% opposed even to eating the cost of the Asp Explorer either. I don't really want to, but it's kind of one of those, is it worth a couple million credits to get back to the civilization in like half a second? You know, kind of thing. So I think in the end I'll probably be okay with that. But... like I said, I just didn't want to, like, you know, try it, blow up, and then them tell me, oh, you can only go back to Colonia, and then I'm out a ship that can actually jump further and stuff. So that wouldn't be a good move either. Ooh, we got one really close. Let's try that one. Ooh, and it's a blue star. I do really like, I had a couple of comments on a couple of videos back mentioning the density of the stars and stuff as we get closer to A star, and I really love that subtle effect that when we were back in the pill, or the capsule, whatever they're calling it now, they changed the shape of it. Now it's not really the pill, but that's kind of a beta term. Alpha and beta, I think, kind of got used to that. But yeah, when we were back in civilized space, it was like, you know, black sky, a couple dots here and there, you know, stuff like that. And now it's like you can just look around, there's barely any room between all the stars. It's really, really cool. And to boot, we're not even really as close as we're going to end up getting either. That's the other crazy part. Whew, I did run it a little bit close, didn't I? Alright, there you are. Let's go ahead. Get some field scooping. I'm trying to get the scan while also scooping, but I'm pretty sure getting this close at this angle is going to make it hotter. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that theory. Come on, scan already. There we go. Alright. I might be pushing it a little much there. Alright, how's our other systems? FSD's 94. We should be okay with that. Go ahead and set our next mark, which should be like 5 feet away. 1.14 light years. That is probably the closest jump I have ever made in this game. Look at that! I know the fuel scooping bar is kind of in the way, but you can barely see the blue tinge on that fuel bar of how much that jump's gonna cost us. It's hardly anything. That's hilarious. Alright, let's get out here. Let's get ourselves lined up over here. Alrighty. There we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now, I probably should stop and repair my frameshift drive at some point. It's getting a little banged up. And I don't know if I'm being paranoid about that or not. I was just told that, like, not to let it get below 95 optimally and 90, like, overall. If it got below that, you're supposed to stop and repair it. I don't really know what the reason for that is. I would think, you know, it's 90% integrity. It should be fine. But that was the tutorial that I read about doing the neutron star thing. So I don't know what that is all about. But, if it gets a little any more banged up within the next little bit, I probably should stop and repair it. Out, 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 out. Alrighty. Let's keep on keeping on. How many do we have here? We're actually moving at a really good clip, because we don't have that much further to go on this route. Actually, at the rate we're going, I don't know, we might get there way before the end of the episode. I really don't know, because there wasn't that many marked left on the map there. That's intriguing. But so yeah, again, I know this is a little bit not what I was kind of saying I wanted to do with this series moving forward after we did our schedule change and everything, but it was the product of my poor personal schedule at the moment, which I'm trying to rectify. But basically, I'm living up to my name a little bit of being a sleepless night. I've been staying up way too late, which means I get up late, and I don't have as much time during the day to get stuff done. And then during the evening, everybody else that I, you know and hang out with, friends, family, all that kind of stuff, they're out of work and stuff and wanting to do things, so I drop stuff and do stuff with them. You know, sue me, I have a personal life. But, you know, when you, it's like trying to optimize both things, and when you're, doing stuff in the afternoon or whatever, and you're trying to crunch right before everybody gets out of work and wants to, do things or go out or do stuff, and then you're trying to make time for that. It'd be different if it was like, nope, I'm just, not doing anything today with anybody. But, so that's I need to kind of fix my, the holidays and stuff really messed it up, and being sick. When I was sick and I wasn't recording anything, that really messed me up, because the way that I kind of deal with colds and stuff is I basically just die to the world, pretty much. Like, I quarantine myself in my house, and it's like, if I'm sick, I'm not going out with anybody, doing anything. I'm pretty much just going to be playing games, watching shows, and sleeping. That's pretty much it. And so it's kind of one of those that, like, when I was sick, I kind of just slept, napped, whatever you want to call it, whenever I felt tired. That kind of thing, which was like all the time. That was probably one of the biggest reasons I didn't do recordings while I was sick. I mean, my throat hurt and stuff, so you don't want to be talking a lot while your throat's all raspy and raw. It'll just make it worse. You're you're using the thing that's already sore. It's like working out when you've already pushed your muscles and stuff too far. It's like you need to rest and let them heal. So I didn't really want to do that, but I just didn't feel like it. It was like if my throat was fine and all this, I was just exhausted all the time. Whatever that was, it just drained me. So, you know, I pretty much watched shows, played some games, but even that, it was like I'd play for an hour or two, not like I normally do, and then I was like, I'm tired, I want to go back to bed. So, you know, I did that, which messed me up, because then it was like, I would go to bed just in the evening because I was tired, but then I wouldn't have alarms or anything going, and I would just sleep, and I'd wake up at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and I'd be like, I don't care, you know, and I did that for like 2 weeks. I was actually getting a little bit better with my sleep schedule, and I know most of you don't know my normal habits and things. If you do, that's creepy. No, most of I'm kind of a night person by nature, that I don't recall any point in time when I felt awake waking up in the morning. Like, you know, barring things that, you know, as kids and stuff, you get like, Christmas morning, that kind of thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Christmas, woohoo! You know, and you're the one waking the parents up type of thing. But barring stuff like that, I just mean like normal stuff when there wasn't some special occasion that you were super excited for, so you couldn't sleep, and then once you did sleep, you like woke up at the butt crack of dawn. But like normal stuff, just everyday living kind of thing. I don't recall at any point ever just waking up being like, look at the day, hear the birds, you know, like I'm just not a morning person. I was kind of like, shut up birds, I want to sleep. And because of that, it's weird. It's not necessarily, I have a hard time explaining it, because it's like, it's not really that like I'm more alert in the evening. It's that like I've been awake, so now I'm awake, if that makes sense. Like I just have a hard time waking up. Once I'm awake, I'm usually kind of okay, other than just, you know, you didn't get enough sleep or something. But most of the time, it's waking me up that's the problem. Like, I just never want to get up. Once I'm up and, like, cleaned up and you've had food and you're, like, ready to start the day, I'm usually, like, okay, and I'm alert and I'm ready to do stuff. But then once I hit that state, then I never want to turn it off. It's like, even when I get tired and things, I have a hard time just, like, putting stuff down, turning TVs off, and just laying down and going to bed. You know, I have to be, like, passing out, kind of sleep deprivation type of thing before I feel like going to bed. It's weird. It's like I've known a few people that were like that, but it was never the exact same kind of thing where it was a mental thing that your mind just never turned off, so you never felt like you were ready to go to bed. I'm always looking at the next thing that I need to do or want to do, even if it's for fun. So, you know, with that of not ever really feeling like you wanted to go to bed and then hating waking up, it was kind of predisposed to wanting to be awake at night kind of thing. Like, I'm just more alert then. So because of that, I want to be on a normal, like, morning work schedule and do all my recordings and projects and book writing and all that kind of stuff during the day, and then have the evenings and afternoons to do stuff with everybody else. Mainly that's because everybody else is on that schedule, and otherwise it just becomes a problem doing anything with anyone. I told somebody that, I think it was Caden Red Pearl that I was talking to at one point, and I told him, you know, it was like if I was on if I was living out of state with, like, no family or friends around and it was just me and I was on a night schedule, I really wouldn't care. But I'm not, so I don't want to record at, like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, because I feel like I can't get loud or animated or anything, because then you're gonna wake people up and stuff because it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's difficult but ultimately it pushes me to where I want to be on, like, a day schedule, and I'm just not doing a very good job at it. I was doing okay, and then getting sick just really messed everything up. Because then I was just kind of sleeping whenever I felt like it and stuff, and like I said, I naturally kind of reverted back into a night shift kind of thing. So, that was kind of... Today was another one of those big wake-up calls, no pun intended, where you were kind of like, yeah, you need to fix this, because I woke up at like 1:30 in the afternoon or something. And I usually do, stuff with my dog and things. He's kind of on his... he's 7 going on 8 now, so he's kind of got his habits pretty well set of like somewhere between 3:30, 4:30, somewhere in there he looks for a walk, so he will literally be like at my door barking like, I don't care if you're recording, you should be done by now. So you've got all these predisposed scheduling things that when you get up late, it just limits your time of what you have to do. So that's my bad. I apologize for this episode being less edited and less progress like I had been talking about wanting to do. It was just not in the cards today, so hopefully... I really hesitate saying anything about doing progress off camera, mainly just because every time I have said that I haven't gotten to it. And I've voiced that before about I play enough things and I do enough stuff that I honestly just either forget to work on Elite or I think about it and then just don't want to at the time. So I wouldn't mind doing it the day I'm supposed to be recording it, because then it's like you're supposed to be playing Elite. It's not like you're cutting into any kind of recreational gameplay or, anything like that. But... And part of it is, I don't know if I've ever really voiced this or not, but I have, like, moods of gaming and shows and things like that where I'll go through periods where, like, shows that I like to watch are on, and I just don't watch them. Like, they're on the DVR kind of thing, and I'll get to them eventually, but I'm into a new game or an old game that I never finished or whatever. And one of the things that happened recently is the announcement of the newest and last Dark Souls 3 DLC that I think is set for April. And I got really excited about that, and then I realized I had beaten Dark Souls 3, but it's always like a bucket list goal of mine is to platinum all of those games, mainly because they're known for being very difficult. So it's like a rite of passage to me. It's like I've platinumed all the Souls games, that kind of thing. That was one of my most cherished trophies on my PlayStation account, was when I platinumed Demon Souls. When I platinumed that game, I was just like, I'm done. I beat gaming. Kind of thing. And I know there's some other things out there, but that was just mine. Like, the Souls series to me was the hardest games that I still enjoy playing. I'll put it that way. Like, to me, there are harder games. I can think of one right off the top of my head that I swore off of years ago. Ninja Gaiden. No, I won't do it. I hate those games. I love them. I hate them. And what I mean by that is, as the gameplay, as the setting, I love ninjas. What is there not to love about ninjas? Ninjas are amazing and awesome. Now, I don't buy into the whole pirate versus ninja thing that has kind of died off, mainly because I like them both. So, I will say if I had to pick, I would probably go ninja, because ninjas are just beast. Pirates seem like they'd be more fun. Like, I always think of, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, that kind of thing, Jack Sparrow type of stuff, and it's like, that seems more fun than being a ninja. But, because you basically just get to run around and do whatever you wanted, and there wasn't really a whole lot of rules, hence pirate, you broke all the rules. Unless you went like Black Sails or something, where, it's one of those, like, it's actually more doom and gloom pirates, but, like, the harsher reality of pirates, not the fun-loving Pirates of the Caribbean type stuff. But either way, ninjas always seemed like they had a more hard life, mainly for, like, the discipline and the, stuff like that. Like, everything was always had to be done exactly the right way, and it seemed to me like it'd be less enjoyable, but when you're talking fiction, ninja characters are just beasts. They're just fun and awesome. I got talking here. I don't know if we can make this jump or not. We're gonna have to find out here. I do think this is the last bookmark, though, so we hit our timetable pretty much perfectly, because I don't have any more neutron stars bookmarked. So we're probably just going to jump to refuel and repair, and then end it there. So anyways, I like the setting of Ninja Gaiden and stuff. I'm a huge martial arts fan. I won't say I'm like some amazing martial artist or anything. I mean, I've done stuff and learned things, but you know, I'm not like some 9th degree black belt or anything like that that actually really knows what they're doing. I just really enjoy I don't know, I've always just enjoyed it. Like, people have asked me why I like it, you know, it's like, do you have something to prove? Do you want to beat people up? It's like, no, I just always really like the mentality and discipline and martial arts stuff. It was just really cool to me. There's a neutron star around here that I saw somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, there's one. We're gonna park... Ah, there's like 3 of them. We're gonna park right there, I think. We can make it. Woo! That was close. Almost screwed everything up. Anyways, so I've always liked that stuff anyway, so then Ninja Gaiden just was awesome. It was like the fictional, flashy, teleporty kind of ninja thing, but they are stupidly hard. Like, not fun hard to me. I know some people really play them and really like them, and that's cool. I'm glad some people get enjoyment out of them. But I remember that Ninja Gaiden Sigma was the first game I played. I know there was the one on NES, but I really, you know, back in that era, I was kind of a kid, you know, and so parents wouldn't let me play that kind of stuff because it was very mature, you know, all that stuff. I think, I don't know, it was far enough back I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that was the reasoning. But the first one I actually played was Sigma on PS3. And again, love the setting and stuff. It was a great game. The difficulty was just way too high for me. I remember dying enough times it gives you the option. Some of you know if you've played it before. Sorry, I want to get my scoop speed down a little bit. Whoops. Some of you will remember if you've played that one that if you play it and die enough times in a row, it will actually give you the option to lower into a secret difficulty level called like Ninja Dog or something, where it basically tries to make the game easy for you. I fought the last boss of that game on that difficulty level. Like, I got that very early on and decided, screw it, I'm just going with it. So I played the whole game that way. And I got to the last boss, and it still took me like 10 deaths and like a half hour of fighting that boss to beat him finally. It was stupid. And the one thing I will say about the difference, and some people are like, how would you play Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that then? The difference to me is there are moments in all of the Souls series, including Bloodborne, that feel a little cheaty or cheap, where you're like, okay, I'm getting stun locked, there's nothing I can do, yet I'm gonna die. You're like, that doesn't feel like my fault because, you know, you're just stun locking me. I will say though, wow, there's a ton of stars in this one system, that's cool. I will say though, most of the time in a Souls game, you know what you did and you feel like you messed it up, or you got greedy, or you weren't watching your stamina. Something generally that you did, and you kind of know where you messed up. And that's what makes the Souls series, like, okay with me, is it doesn't feel... It's difficult, it's not brutal. It's like, it's very difficult, but in a very fine... It's like right at that edge. If you crossed over and pushed it any further, it would be stupid difficult, where it's not fun anymore. And Souls is always, it's like the carrot on a stick. It's like whenever you fail and mess up, you always see, okay, well, if I had done it a little bit differently, I was almost there. I could have done, and it always keeps you coming back because you're thinking, well, if I had just done it a little bit differently, I was right there. Now I know how to do it. And then you die again. You're like, now I know how to do it though, you know. So to me, they were always the top end of difficult that I would still play and enjoy. And even then, there's times where I've rage quit, you know, those games. I don't know how many times, but I come back to them. It's not like, nope, I'm just done. And Ninja Gaiden was the opposite. It was like I played through the first one, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not platinuming it. I beat it. I'm happy. I'm done. And then 2 came out, and they were like, oh, we're trying to make it a little less difficult for other players. Bull. I got like a quarter of the way through that game and was just like, nope. They did not change it nearly enough. It's still way too hard. So, you know, there's stuff like that. But anyways, what I started to say, I'm going to wrap this up because now we're not really doing anything. I'm just staring at a star like a doofus. But in closing of my thought, so that we don't end on a cliffhanger, is they announced the new the Dark Souls DLC. So then I went back and started playing it, and that got me into that. And then while I was playing it, I was trying to grind for Covenant items. If you're trying to platinum it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is stupid. That is one stupid mechanic in the game. No question. But while I was doing that, I was watching a stream, recorded streams of Epic Name Bro, who kind of got me into the Dark Souls series. He's a YouTuber now, has kind of moved to Twitch streaming. But I really like him as like if you're wanting like Dark Souls lore and all that kind of stuff. He did a lot of cool run-throughs of them on his YouTube channel and stuff. So I was watching his stuff, and then I was like, well, I've already kind of seen the Dark Souls run, let's watch the Bloodborne one, and I was watching his new lore through, where he goes over the lore of the game, and he started saying things, and I realized I never beat Bloodborne at all. Like, I didn't actually play it through very far. I really liked it, I just never really played it that much, and he started saying things, and I was like, oh, I don't want to hear this is like a spoiler, crap, I don't want to watch this. So I turned that off. And then I went and put Bloodborne in and started playing that, so now I'm kind of into that one. So I'm kind of in that mode type of thing. And so when I mentioned the whole I could do like Elite while I'm doing Netflix or something like that, I really haven't been watching a lot of stuff because I've been back into these games where it requires your focus, so I haven't been multitasking all that much. So that's part of why I haven't gotten a whole lot done off camera on this, and so on and so forth. So, but again, I know this isn't really what I had said I've been wanting to do, but we did make a lot of progress. We got over 1,600 light years closer to A-star and all that. If nothing else, before I do my next episode, I'm going to go through and make more of a route and continue from that router that I used, and we'll go from there. But I hope you all enjoyed. In the meantime, I got that backwards. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.